Hi there and welcome back to Jay's Permaculture Allotment. So today we're going to do end of month, so end of March 2021, and I'm going to break this up into 3 videos I think, so otherwise it's going to take too long, and we'll cover the 1.5 food forest plots. I won't worry about so much on the basic allotment plot because it's just standard stuff, whereas the permaculture food forest is more what we're interested in. So let's turn the camera around. I'm not going to spend too long on each individual plant this time. Okay, so as you can see, daffodils are still going strong. This was a self-seeded kale that the neighbours had a whole area of kale over here last year. They let it go to seed, and I've now got some of it growing over here, so I'm just letting it flower just for the pollinators, and then that will come out. So you can see the lupins coming back strong. So again, nitrogen fixer and great for the pollinators, so always good to have it within your system. So then we've got some apple trees here. So there's one here, another one here. Then you've got, this is Victoria plum, and it only went in last year as a 5-foot bare root tree, and this year the amount of flower buds that are on it are amazing. And you can see, if I put my hand around here, how big that's got just in a year, considering when I planted it the base stem was only like this last year. So all of this is new growth. That was after pruning. Okay, so we've got cherry. So this one's a Stella cherry. Again, only went in the ground last year, but has already got loads of fruit and buds on. And again, all the fruit trees at the back here, so the cherry, Victoria plum, and the 2 apples were just from Tesco's. Just I think they were £6 each, or 2 for £10, something like that. So we can see fig. You can start now seeing some of the Braber figs. I don't know if you can make out at the side of the leaf buds. This one here is actually an actual fig. Same with this one here. And these ones. So I don't know if these ones will stay on there because we're still expecting a couple more frosts. But the little ones will be fine on there. This was just a seedling apple tree that I grew from seed just over a year ago. But I'll see how it does this year, and then I can transfer it out from here to allow more space. Then we've got an elderberry at the back, which is this one here that goes round slightly. And again, that was just from a cutting, but it's already got flower buds on. And then tall things at the back, they're poplar trees, and I've got several of those at the back, in amongst some herbs, and there's some red mustard at the back, some kales, some of the kiwis from seed that I grew, that they're growing up the canes. You can see they're all coming back to life. See it, there it is. So that's a kiwi there. And yes, there's weeds down there. Dandelions I deliberately let grow because we've got tortoises and they adore them. And obviously the flowers are great for the pollinators. It's just a case of keeping the seed heads at bay. And a lot of the other weeds that are coming up are ones that come up really easy because we've had quite a lot of warm weather unusually, especially this week. It's good to have the ground covered, so even if it's weeds, and then all I do is, as I'm ready to plant stuff in there, I will actually take out the so-called weeds and then put in the chosen plants. So this is my cornelian cherry next to the Tortondine kale. Now you'll see my red Russian kales, they're all now just starting to bolt, but don't forget, as well as the leaves, the florets are edible and they taste very similar to a broccoli. So really good, really nutritious. So I've been harvesting lots of that, and I've got about 20 odd of these big plants. Okay, you can see currants coming back, bunching onions, the medlar tree that only went in this year. You can see it's already starting to bud. And this was one of the new Bramley apples, again starting to bud. So everything's looking good. Red love apple tree starting to get its fruiting spurs on there. More figs down here. More red Russian kale. The nice green tree here. There, that's a pluot. It did have a few flowers. I don't know if that'll actually hold on to any of them. This was its first year of actually sending out any flowers because it only went in the ground last year. So I don't mind it not fruiting this year, and you can just focus on its growth. And again, another red love apple, but you can see lots of fruiting spurs all the way along there. So for a little tree, it should be fairly productive. And then obviously we've got lots of our globe artichokes. We've still got beetroots in the ground here. And then there's ground cover strawberries. There's some poppies that self-seed every year coming up. It's just an aquilegia here. Yeah, rose. Then beetroots. So it's another apple tree, but this one was one of the few decent things that were on this plot when I took it on. Don't know what variety it is, although it has a label. It's actually a blank label. Well, it is now. I'm sure it had a description on it at some point. But it's a green apple. But a lot of the apples got attacked last year, so I didn't really get to try them as such. But it's looking healthier this year anyway. So fingers crossed for a decent harvest so we can try them. As you can see, red Russian kale everywhere. So once this is finished, I will deliberately let some go to seed and keep the seed, because these have been phenomenal here, really tasty. So when I save the seeds from these, they'll be more specific for growing where they are. They'll be a lot stronger for dealing with whatever my area throws at it. So as you can see, this was the dwarf nectarine. And this is the variegated elderberry called Madonna. Yes, that is its actual name, not my name for it. I don't have pet names for my trees. Another apple tree. Again, this one didn't flower last year. This one here. But we'll see how it does this year. It actually has some flower spurs on there. So we'll see how it does anyway. And then my favourite out of the apple trees that were already here is this one, the Elster apple. Had delicious fruits on it. So we've got an amber Yoji where the canes are. And we've got lemon that's been out all winter, and this is one that I've grown from seed. And this one's still very much alive, still green. I was expecting it to lose its leaves anyway, so that doesn't surprise me. More daffs. Another Bramley apple. There's a fig down there in between the strawberries on the ground. Some rhubarb over there, just coming up. And we've got a gooseberry, and we've got two jujube trees. So one where the cane is here, and then the other one is where the cane is here. Okay, over here we've got, this is a new apple tree. This is green sleeve apple. It's just on our M26, so it's not going to get ridiculously tall, looking at about 2 meters. But it's only been in the ground a couple of weeks, so buds are just starting to break on it. And then if you can see the yellow flowers, that's the 4-berry, 4 as in the number. And this one's got an amber colour berry, whereas this variety here that's not in flower yet, this is the black one. So again, they're good for cross-pollinating, but that'll help if this one flowers at the same time, which at the moment it's not. It's got a couple of buds appearing, so it shouldn't take too long, and there's still a lot of buds to open. They are self-fertile, but you get a better production harvest if you have a couple of different varieties of those to cross-pollinate. Another one of the decent fruit trees that was here when I came is this cherry tree, which is just starting to bud up now. Again, don't know what variety it is, but produces lovely cherries. And we've got red currants. That's just some French sorrel, the lemon sorrel behind it. More red currants. This one's the peach variety, so we had the nectarine, this one's the peach. Oh, got another fig down here. This is a Permaculture. Some more of the woodland strawberries. You can see, I think someone's been digging up my elephant garlic. If you put garlics around and alliums around some of your fruit trees, it can help keep a lot of the not so pleasant insects away. So you see I've got a couple of elephant garlics growing here, just from my homegrown ones from last year. This was another tree that was already here. It's a plum or damson, I'm not sure which, because we haven't had any fruits on it, and although it has a description on the label, it doesn't have any name. It just says it's a cooking fruit. Purple on the outside, gold on the inside, I believe. Then we have our Terrific. So this one is a nitrogen fixer, produces a lovely berry on it. It's got sort of a sherbety flavour, the berry. You can see ladybirds. So last year, again it only went in last year, but had some nice berries on it last year. The lemon balm's coming back nice and strong. So again, more of the woodland strawberries. So the woodland strawberries, they don't vine out like the others. So although it's good for keeping the the ground covered, you haven't got to worry about it spreading everywhere, but you can divide clumps when they get too big. Then we've got the Caucasian spinach coming back. You can see, so this is a climbing type spinach. It's not an actual spinach, but it's called Caucasian spinach, and you use it the same way. So this was just, again, it's another red love, but it was just a little stick, and it's been in the ground for just over a year over on the other plot. So you can imagine how tiny it was when I first got it, because it's not huge now, but it's already decided it wants to flower and fruit. So we shall see. I might let a couple, but I don't want it exhausting itself if it's not quite ready. More lemon sorrel and more currants. So I'll just give you a quick overview. So that was the original half plot food forest. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that one there as video 1 of 3 for the end of April tour, and I will catch up with you in part 2 and part 3. So until next time, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care for now.